Hello students, I am Akhilesh Kumar Srivastav, working in the ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. In the data structure lecture series, I will be discussing about the sortings today. Today we will discuss about the bubble sort and the selection sort, which are the very basic sorting techniques, and then we will present a comparative analysis of the bubble and the selection sort. सो आइए सबसे पहले समझते हैं कि रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है सॉर्टिंग की। अगर मान लीजिए कि आपके पास कुछ नेम्स हैं और आपको उसे अल्फ़ाबेटिकल सीक्वेंस या आप लेक्सोग्राफिकल सीक्वेंस उसको कह सकते हैं या आप उसको क्रोनोलॉजिकल सीक्वेंस कह सकते हैं, इस फॉर्म में आपको अरेंज करना है। या फिर आपके पास कुछ स्टूडेंट्स का डाटा है जिसको आपको सॉर्ट करना है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर स्कोर्स इन द टेस्ट और मे बी इन द alphabetical sequence, or you can say according to the places they live. So there are various parameters on the basis of which you can sort these. इसी तरह से मान लीजिए आपको बाइनरी सर्च परफॉर्म करना है। The prerequisite for the binary search would be that you have assorted data items. So you will have to sort your data item before performing the binary search. Similarly, अगर आपने किसी ई कॉमर्स साइट पे किसी आइटम को सर्च करना चाहा है तो आप उसका कीवर्ड टाइप करते हैं, उससे रिलेटेड सर्च रिकॉर्ड्स या उससे रिलेटेड डाटा आइटम्स को डिस्प्ले कर दिया जाता है। देन आप उसकी सॉर्टिंग कर सकते हैं बेस्ड ऑन द वेरियस पैरामीटर्स। यू कैन सॉर्ट देम अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्राइसेस फ्रॉम लो टू हाई और द प्राइसेस फ्रॉम हाई टू लो और फ्रॉम वेरियस अदर पैरामीटर्स। सो सॉर्टिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड in various applications very frequently. So too we require this sorting to be performed efficiently. The places wherein we are actually requiring that we have lot of elements, we have hundreds and thousands and lakhs of the elements, in that case we would require that sorting gets performed very efficiently, very quickly. Now, so what is the sorting? Let us say these are different people according to their heights, and this is the outcome we are actually expecting. Now, what is the sorting? It takes an unordered collection of items and makes it in the ordered one. From another thing you can say that you have a table. आपके पास एक टेबल है जिसमें रिकॉर्ड्स हैं. You have a table, it contains the records. This is R0 record, this is R1 records, R2 records, and so on so forth. There are many records. Every record contains a lot of fields. It may contain, let's say it is a student record, so it may contain the student's roll number, his name, his branch, okay, let's say his percentage in 12th class. So all these are the data items related to a student. Now roll number is unique for this case, and this is known as the key, and you may require to sort these records according to the key. Okay, so according to the key you would like that record should be sorted. In case let's say we have two keys which are of the same value. मान लेते हैं कि एक की वैल्यू 1 है और दूसरी की भी वैल्यू 1 है, और हमारे टेबल में ये जो 1 की है कई बार अपीयर होता है, उसके बाद फिर बहुत सारे डाटा आइटम हो सकते हैं। तो सॉर्टिंग के समय हमें ये इंश्योर करना होगा कि जो पहला 1 है वो आउटकम में भी पहला 1 हो, जो दूसरा 1 है वो आउटकम में भी दूसरा 1 हो, जो तीसरा 1 है वो आउटपुट में भी तीसरा 1 हो, and so on so forth. In case we are able to provide this kind of the facility wherein the same number or the equal number in the original data set maintains its position or maintains its order in the output data, we will say that this is the stable sort. Let us take one more example to understand the stable sort. Let us say we have the data item 69462. So once we sort this number, the output would be 2 4 6, 6, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6 and 9. So 6 is appearing twice. So first 6 is this, in the output this should be the first 6, in the output this should be the second 6. So in case this order is maintained, हम कहेंगे कि हमने स्टेबल सॉर्ट कर लिया है, या फिर एक जो सॉर्टिंग मेथड हमने अप्लाई किया दैट वाज स्टेबल. तो सेम की का जो पोजीशन या जो ऑर्डर है, रिलेटिव ऑर्डरिंग है ओरिजिनल डाटा सेट में, वही डाटा वही जो ऑर्डर है वो आउटपुट सेट में मेंटेन किया गया है. नाउ देयर इज इंटरनल सॉर्ट एंड द एक्सटर्नल सॉर्ट. अगर आप सॉर्टिंग करने के लिए केवल इंटरनल मेमोरी या रैम का यूज कर रहे हैं तो आप कहेंगे कि दैट इज इंटरनल सॉर्ट. लेकिन अगर आप सॉर्टिंग करने के लिए किसी एक्सटर्नल स्टोरेज का भी या हार्ड डिस्क का यूज कर रहे हैं या किसी सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज का यूज कर रहे हैं along with the internal memory, obviously internal memory will be required, क्योंकि किसी भी प्रोसेस को एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे तो उसके लिए इंटरनल मेमोरी तो रिक्वायर्ड होगी. So for internal memory that is required, but along with that you are requiring the secondary storage also, and you will say that you are performing the external sort. Now हम स्टार्ट करते हैं बबल सॉर्ट से. मान लीजिए कि आपके पास एक बकेट है और उस बकेट में पानी भरा हुआ है. A bucket is full of the water. आप इसमें थोड़ा सा डिटर्जेंट डालते हैं और डिटर्जेंट डालने के बाद आप अपना हाथ हिलाते हैं, पानी में हाथ हिलाते हैं, तो इसमें बबल्स क्रिएट होंगे, बबल्स बनेंगे. जो बबल्स बनेंगे उसमें कुछ छोटे बबल्स बनेंगे, कुछ बड़े बबल्स बनेंगे, कुछ छोटे वॉल्यूम के बबल होंगे, कुछ बड़े वॉल्यूम के बबल होंगे. इनमें जो सबसे बड़े वॉल्यूम का बबल होगा उसका सरफेस पे आने की जो टेंडेंसी होगी वो फास्ट होगी एज कंपेयर टू छोटे बबल्स का. तो बबल सॉर्ट भी यही एनालॉजी यूज करता है या यही प्रोसेस को यूज करता है, इसी प्रोसेस को यूज करता है, और अपने कंपैरिजन में या अपने प्रोसेस में पहले बड़े नंबर की पोजीशन को सेट करता है, देन उससे छोटे नंबर्स की पोजीशन को सेट करता है, देन उससे छोटे नंबर की पोजीशन सेट करता है, एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. सबसे लास्ट में सबसे छोटे नंबर की पोजीशन फिक्स होती है. सो लेट्स से वी हैव द डाटा आइटम 77, 42, 35, 12, 101 एंड 5. अगर हमें इसमें बबल सॉर्ट परफॉर्म करना है तो हम कंसेक्यूटिव एलिमेंट्स को कंपेयर करेंगे. पहले फर्स्ट और सेकंड नंबर को कंपेयर करेंगे, देन सेकंड और थर्ड नंबर को कंपेयर करेंगे, देन थर्ड एंड फोर्थ नंबर को कंपेयर करेंगे, एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. अगर हमने फर्स्ट और सेकंड नंबर को कंपेयर किया और पहला नंबर आगे वाले नंबर से बड़ा है तो हम एक्सचेंज कर देंगे ताकि बड़ा नंबर आगे चला जाए. तो फॉर एग्जांपल वी आर कंपेयरिंग 77 एंड 42. 77 is larger than 42, so we will exchange them. We will swap these two. Then we will make a comparison between 77 and 35. Now 77 is larger than 35, so we will exchange them, we will swap them. Then we are going to compare 77 and 12. 77 is larger than 12, so we will exchange them. Now we are going to make a comparison between 77 and 101. Now in this case 77 is not larger, so no need of swap, we don't need a swap. Then we are going to compare 101 and 5. 101 is larger than 5, so we will swap these two. Once this operation gets completed, 101 is the largest item that reaches to the last index. So this is the first iteration which has got completed, and the similar practice will be followed for the other numbers as well, or we will actually restart the process for setting the position of second largest element in the array. So let's take an example and do the complete sorting. Let's say we have the numbers 50, 35, 45, 10, 15 and 40. So let's say we are going to compare this 50 and 30. 50 is larger than 30, so we will exchange them, and here is the position of these two elements. Then we are going to compare this 50 and 45. So 45 is small and 50 is large, so we will exchange these two. So this number is 45 and this becomes 50. Then we are going to compare this 50 with 10. 50 is larger than 10, so we exchange these two. Then we compare 50 and 15. 50 is larger, so these two gets exchanged. And then 50 and 40. 50 is larger, so these two are getting exchanged. And after this, largest element occupies the last position in the array. We are considering that we have the data item in the array. We can actually employ other mechanism also. We may consider that the data items are given in the linked list also. So similarly, even if you are doing in the array or if we are doing in the linked list, the process remains the same. The largest data item occupies the last position. After this, we will say that we have completed the first pass or the first iteration, and we will restart the operation from the beginning. So 30 and 45, no exchange required because 30 is smaller. Then we are going to compare this 45 and 10. So 10 gets here and 45 gets here. For 45 and 15, an exchange is required because 45 is larger. So we have a 15 here and 45 here. Then 45 and 40. So 40 comes here and 45 comes here. Now we are not going to change the position of 50. So we will not make a comparison with 50 also. There is no need of making a comparison between the 50 and 45. So we will say that 45 has actually occupied the appropriate position in the sorted array. After doing so, we will again repeat this. We will say that the second iteration has got completed. So we are now going to third operation or third iteration. The data item is 30 and 10, exchange. 30 and 15, exchange. 30 and 40, no exchange is required because 30 is smaller. After doing so, 40 gets its appropriate position, no need to compare it with 45. So this has got the third iteration completed. After this, we are going to compare 10 and 15 in the fourth iteration. 10, 15, no exchange required. 15 and 30, no exchange is required. So after this, 30 occupies its position, appropriate position, no need to compare it with 40. So this was the fourth iteration. In the fifth iteration, we will compare 10 and 15. So only one comparison, no exchange is required. We will say that 15 has occupied its appropriate position. After this, we remain with only one element, that is 10. So केवल एक element अगर मेरे पास बचा है तो हम उसको किसी से compare तो कर नहीं सकते. So we have the sorted set 10, 15, 30, 40, 45 and 50. Okay. So this is the sorted set. फर्स्ट आइटरेशन में हमने सबसे पहले नंबर को फिक्स किया, सबसे बड़े नंबर को. सेकंड आइटरेशन में उससे छोटे नंबर को फिक्स किया. थर्ड आइटरेशन में उससे छोटे नंबर को फिक्स किया एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. तो हमने कंपैरिजंस कितने किए फर्स्ट आइटरेशन में? एक. हमने कंपैरिजन कितने किए दूसरे आइटरेशन में? एक. इस तरह से हम कंपैरिजंस कर रहे हैं. सो वी आर मेकिंग अ कंपैरिजन ऑफ फर्स्ट सेकंड, सेकंड थर्ड, थर्ड फोर्थ, fourth, fifth and fifth, sixth. So there are 5 comparisons required in the iteration number 1. We require one less comparison in the second iteration because we are not comparing this element with the last element. So we require 4 comparison. In the third comparison, we require even one less. So 3 comparisons. In the fourth iteration, we require only 2 comparisons. And you can see that in the last iteration, you require only 1 comparison. How many iterations are performed? 5. How many numbers we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In case you have 6 numbers, you require 6 iterations to perform. So we have 6 numbers. So number of iterations which are required to be performed are 5. In case we have n numbers, the comparisons required to be performed will be n minus 1. So what we can make it out from here, that if we have been given n numbers, n minus 1 iteration will be performed. In the first iteration, you require n minus 1 comparisons to be made. In the second iteration, you require n minus 2 comparisons to be made, and so on and so forth. The number of comparisons are reducing in every iteration. In the last iteration, you require only 1 comparison to be made. Okay. Now let's write the algorithm for the same. Let's write the algorithm for the first iteration only. So what happens in the first iteration, that you are going to compare first and second element, second and third element, and third and fourth element, and so on and so forth. And the total number of comparisons that you require to make is n minus 1. So let's say we are taking a loop counter j that starts from 1 and it goes up to n minus 1. You are going to compare first and second element. It means aj and aj plus 1 element. When the value of j is 2, you will compare a2 and a3 elements. When the value of j is 3, you will make a comparison between a3 and a4 element. So you make a comparison between aj element with aj plus 1. If aj element is larger than aj plus 1, then you will have to exchange these two. So you exchange aj and aj plus 1 element. In case aj element is not larger than aj plus 1 element, if the previous element is not larger than the next element, don't make any exchange, just leave it as such. Okay? So, this is only the first iteration. And how many such iterations will be performed? Obviously, every other iteration will be of the similar kind. So, the total number of iterations that you require to perform are n minus 1. We already have written here that you require n minus 1 iterations to be performed. तो हमें इस जैसा आइटरेशन n माइनस 1 टाइम करना है, तो क्यों ना हम इसी लूप को किसी और लूप में एनक्लोज कर लें. दिस इज रिपीटेड प्रोसेस, तो रिपीटेड प्रोसेस शुड बी रिटन इनसाइड द लूप. सो लेट्स राइट अ लूप which actually starts from 1, goes up to n minus 1, because n minus 1 iterations are there. So, outer loop is telling you, or the loop with the I loop counter is telling you the number of the iteration. So, if the number of if the iteration number is 1, the value of I will be 1. You require n minus 1 comparisons, but in the second iteration you require one less comparison. So, you need to make a change. What change is required? Where j varies from 1 to n minus 1, you will have to make it from n minus I, because when the value of I becomes 2, the second iteration, the number of iteration will reduce by 1 than the first iteration. Similarly, number of iteration in the third, number of comparisons in the third iteration will reduce by 1 than the previous one. So, you are making this change by making n minus 1 to n minus I, where I is referring to the number of iteration. Here we are assuming that the indexes of the array is starting from 1. If this is the array given to you, you will assume that the index of the array is starting from 1. In case the index of the array is starting from 0, you can start I from 0, you can start j from 0. In the same way, you can change the upper limit also. Now, let us find out what is the space function of this algorithm. Space function means you are going to find out the space complexity. So, in the entire algorithm, you have taken only 2 extra variables from your side. What are two extra variables? Those are I and j. In case you consider that the exchange requires a third variable, then you can consider that 3 extra variables are required. So, the space function for this algorithm is 3. Whatever be the size of the array, let us say the array size is 10, then also you require 3 variables. If the array size is 1 lakh, then also you require 3 variables. So, the space complexity of this algorithm will be constant. So, this can be written as theta 1. What about the time function? We already have discussed about it, that in the first iteration you require n minus 1 comparisons. In the second iteration you require n minus 2 comparisons. In the third iteration you require n minus 3 comparisons, and so on and so forth. In the last iteration you require only one comparison to be made. Okay? Now, let us consider that in each of the iteration, each time you are making a comparison, exchange takes place. This is the worst case actually. Each time you make a comparison, exchange takes place. So, you will require 3 operations for that, for exchange. So, let us say you add all these and then multiplied it with 3. So, the quantity here is 1 plus 2 plus and so on so forth n minus 1. We have written it reversed, and this entire quantity multiplied with n, with this 3. So, this will be 3 into n minus 1 by 2. So, this is 3 by 2 into n square minus n. Okay. Now, here we have a polynomial, and in this polynomial the highest degree term is n square. We are omitting the constant terms, we are just considering the n. So, here we have a degree 2 polynomial, the highest degree term is n square. So, the complexity will be written with respect to this n square. We are not defining any notation with the complexity. For applying a notation, understand this condition. Suppose we have a number given as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now, in case you have to sort these numbers, you compare first and second, no exchange required. You compare second and third, no exchange required. You compare third and fourth, no exchange required. Fourth and fifth, no exchange required. Fifth and sixth, no exchange required. Since no exchange is required, in the subsequent iterations also no exchange will be required. Since no exchanges are required in the subsequent iterations, you can stop your operation here itself. You can declare that the array is sorted. So, after the first iteration itself, you can declare that the numbers are sorted. So in this case, you require only n minus 1 comparison to be made, and no exchange took place. So this is the best case. In case the best case is appearing, we can write the complexity in omega notation as n. What happened here? Here the worst case appeared. We had to perform all the iterations. In case we have to perform all the iterations, the complexity can be written in the big O notation. So the worst case is big O n square, and the space function remains the same, obviously theta 1. Even if the best case is appearing or the worst case is appearing, the space complexity has to remain same. Now let us understand the selection sort. In the bubble sort, we actually find out the largest element. In the selection sort, we will be finding out the smallest element. So for finding out the smallest element, the mechanism which is followed in the selection sort is, you set the first element as minimum. You find out the minimum among the entire set. 30 is less than minimum, shift minimum from this place to this. 45 is not less than minimum, 10 is less than minimum, shift minimum from this place to this. And then 15 is not less than minimum, 40 is not less than minimum, minimum element is 10. Now you exchange this with the first position element. Obviously in the sorted array, the minimum element should be the first element. So you have exchanged this element, means this one, and the first element. Rest of the elements will remain same. In the second iteration, you will start from the second position. You find out the minimum in the entire set. 45 is not less than minimum, 50 is not less than minimum, 15 is less than minimum. So let's shift this minimum to this position. Now you exchange this element with the second element, not the first element, because the first element has already got fixed. So 15 is this, 30 comes here, 45, 50, and 40 is here. Okay, so you have fixed the position of the second element in this iteration. 15 has been fixed. Now do the same operation for the third element. You set the third element as minimum. You compare it with the other element in the set. 30 is less than this minimum. So set this 30 as minimum. 40 is not less than minimum. Stop it here and then exchange this element with the third element. So 30 comes here, 45 comes here. The third element's position has got fixed. Okay, so in the same manner, we fix the position of every element in every iteration. So how many iterations do you actually need to perform? Let's complete it. By this you will be able to understand. Let's fix this element as minimum. 45 is less than minimum, shift this minimum. 40 is less than minimum, shift this minimum. Exchange this element with the fourth element. So this is the condition. The position of this element gets fixed. Now in the next iteration, you set fifth element as minimum. Compare it with the sixth element. No shifting of minimum is required. So you exchange this minimum with itself, it comes out to 45. So the position of this fifth element gets fixed and you remain with only one element. Since you remain with only one element, you will say that the elements are sorted. The elements sorted are 10, 15, 30, 40, 45 and 50. So how many iterations you performed? You performed 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 iterations. In the first iteration, what you did, you compared second element onwards with the first element or the minimum element. So n minus 1 comparisons were required in the first iteration. In the second iteration, you required one less comparison. In the third, you required even one less. In the next, you required one less. In the next, you required one less comparison. So in each of the iteration, the number of comparisons are reducing. Now let's write the algorithm for the same. So let's write the algorithm for the first iteration. Once you are writing the algorithm for the first iteration, let's say that minimum is the first index element. So minimum is not the element, but minimum is the index of the element which contains the minimum element. So let's say the minimum is 1 here. You are going to compare every element starting from 2 or the second index, and you will compare the element up to nth index. In case the jth element is smaller than the minimum element, you will set jth element as minimum now. It means once this loop will terminate, you will say that you have the index of the minimum element. What you have to do, you have to exchange the minimum element with the first element in the first iteration. So once this loop finishes, you exchange the minimum element with the first index element. Now this is only the first iteration. A total of n minus 1 iteration of the similar kind will be performed. So for that you will have to enclose all these things in a loop. So total of n minus 1 iteration getting repeated. So for I equals to 1 to n minus 1 do. Okay. Now in the first iteration you need to set first element as minimum. In the second iteration you will require second item to be set as the minimum. In the third iteration you will require third item to be set as a minimum. So you change this minimum equals to 1 to minimum equals to I. And then when you are making the comparisons, if this is the first iteration, the comparisons will start from 2. If this is the second iteration, the comparisons will require from third index. So this j equals to 2 will change to j equals to I plus 1. This will change to I plus 1. The comparisons will start from I plus 1. Similarly, when you will make the exchange between the minimum element, it will be exchanged with the ith element, not the first element. So minimum will be exchanged with ith index element. Okay. So this completes the algorithm. Now what you have done here, you have made the comparison. In the first iteration, the number of comparison was n minus 1. Let us say after making the comparison, you have made the exchange. So 3 steps are required for this. In the second iteration, you require n minus 2 comparisons along with an exchange. Similarly, in the third iteration, you require n minus 3 comparison plus an exchange, and so on and so forth. In the last iteration, you require only one comparison to be made, along with this an exchange of 3 lines. So the entire complexity would be n minus 1, let us write it here, n minus 1 plus n minus 2 and so on and so forth up to 1 plus 3 into n minus 1, because 3 is appearing n minus 1 times. When you will solve this, this will be a polynomial in the degree 2. So you can say that the time complexity is n square. And what about the space complexity? How many extra variable you are using? You are using I, you are using j, you are using minimum, and then for exchange you may require a single temporary variable. So 4 variables are required. So a space function is 4 and that will remain constant throughout. So theta 1 will be the space complexity here. We haven't decided about the notation to be used for writing the time complexity. Let us understand with this example. Let us say that minimum is this. When you compared every other element with the minimum, then you found that minimum has remained at first index, it has not changed from first index to anywhere else. It means minimum is fixed at 1. Can you say after setting up the first element that rest of the elements are sorted? No, it is not. Rest of the elements are not sorted. So you cannot say about the other elements or the other part of the array in case you found no exchange or no shifting of the minimum from the first place. So there is no other case possible. You will have to go till the worst case. So since you are required to go to the worst case, you will say that the complexity is fixed for this selection sort. And what is that complexity is? The complexity is theta n square. Since this is fixed, we will write as theta of n square. So now let us make the comparison. In the space complexity, it is theta 1 and theta 1 for bubble sort and selection sort. Bubble sort, in the bubble sort the best case can appear, but there is no best case in the selection sort. You will have to perform all the iterations. You cannot skip any of these two, these iterations. So the average case complexity of selection sort is theta n square and there is no best case in that. Thank you.